Hi everybody, this is Ted Odell from the Hackett Auto Museum in Jackson, Michigan. And today I wanted to share with you some information about this fantastic, all-original 1913 Carter car. The really interesting thing about this car, number one, the steering wheel, as you probably figured out, is not on the right side. Well, technically it is on the right side, it's not on the left side. But the reason for that is because back in 1913, there were no federal rules or laws about where the steering wheel had to be placed on an automobile, and it was simply up to the manufacturer of the individual cars. One of the fascinating things about this 1913 Carter car is that not only is it all original, but the car still maintains all of its original interior. It maintains its original floor mat, which is embossed Carter car. Still has the original leather upholstery, which is interesting for a touring car because of course leather wears out because it is skin. But the fascinating thing about this car is that it literally has one coil in the coil box, which starts the car, helps to start the car. There is a speedometer and an odometer on this car. There's a starter switch on the floor. There's also two other pedals, one with the letter F, which stands for friction, and then the other one says letter B, which stands for brake. And then over here on my right hand side, there's a lever with a silver ball on top. That is a lever that moves the transverse wheel back and forward to touch the friction drive plate, which propels the car forward or back. Of course, there is a parking brake over here on my right hand side, and there's also a little pump which you use to push pressure into the fuel tank on the back of the car that sends gasoline to the carburetor under the hood. This 1913 Carter car was designed and built by Byron J. Carter, and of course this was his third automobile that he had invented by that time. But he was also good friends with Billy Durant from General Motors, and of course at the time Billy Durant was still running General Motors. So they had brokered a deal that General Motors would then purchase the rights to build this automobile because it does have a friction drive versus a traditional transmission that most of us are familiar with. But unfortunately Mr. Carter died prematurely due to an accident, while at the same time the board of directors at General Motors had voted Billy Durant out of the company. So by the time Billy Durant came back to General Motors, Mr. Carter had passed away, and the whole idea of a friction drive automobile was pretty, well, passé at that point. So unfortunately the Carter car came to an end shortly after 1913. But today this is a true survivor. This is one of 25 cars known to exist, and it's a beautiful automobile. And if you'd like to see more of this car or see it in person, stop and visit us at the Hackett Auto Museum in Jackson, Michigan. And in the meantime, if you'd like to follow our happenings, please visit our website at www.hackettautomuseum.org. Thanks for watching.